Here are the top 10 stories on TV Platinum. On number 1, the Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center CISLAC has strongly condemned what it termed reckless and uncivil behavior by public officials, warning that such conduct undermines Nigeria's international image and weakens citizens' trust in governance. In a statement signed by its Executive Director Awal Ibrahim Musa Rafsanjani, also the head of Transparency International Nigeria, the organization stressed that public service demands humility, restraint, and discipline, not arrogance or misuse of power. CISLAC was reacting to the recent altercation between FCT Minister Wike and a military officer in Abuja, describing the incident as gross indiscipline unbecoming of a public officer. The group alleged that the incident reflected a consistent pattern of arrogance and lack of emotional control associated with Wike's public service record, urging the federal government to promote civility and ethical conduct among office holders. At number 2, former Senate President Bukola Saraki has called on the People's Democratic Party (PDP) to suspend its planned national convention scheduled for November 15 and 16 in Ibadan, Oyo State, amid deepening legal and political wrangling. In a statement signed on X, Saraki said parties should prioritize reconciliation and internal peace building before proceeding with any convention. The former governor of Kwara State disclosed that he had met with the Board of Trustees Reconciliation Committee led by Ambassador Hassan Adamu, where discussions centered on strategies to restore the party's stability. Saraki warned that holding the convention amidst ongoing litigations and factional disputes would further damage the PDP's credibility and weaken Nigeria's democratic fabric. At number 3, the family of lead singer Ilerioluwa Aloba, popularly known as Mohbad, has directed his widow Wunmi to stop using the family surname Aloba until a court-ordered DNA test confirms the paternity of her son, Liam. In a statement signed by Adedara Aloba and Joseph Aloba, the family said the decision was aimed at ensuring transparency and accountability in the handling of the late singer's estate and legacy. The statement also revealed that the family had appointed 3 administrators to manage Mohbad's estate: Samuel Adewale Aloba, Engineer Ayodele Razak Famuyiwa, and Mrs. Alonge Ibukun Oluwaseun Aloba. The family further clarified that Mohbad and Wunmi were never legally customarily married, as key Yoruba traditional marriage rites, including the payment of bride price, were not performed. On number 4, President Bola Tinubu has called on Nigerian journalists to ensure that their criticism of government policies is informed, fair, and constructive with the goal of advancing national development rather than undermining it. Speaking at the 21st All-Nigerian Editors Conference held at the banquet hall of the Presidential Villa, Abuja, Tinubu said the government welcomes scrutiny but insists it must be done responsibly. The president emphasized that while his administration continues to work on economic reforms and security, building a prosperous nation requires collaboration and trust between the government and media and citizens as well. He urged the media to uphold professionalism and resist sensationalism in the pursuit of truth. At number 5, former President Olusegun Obasanjo has advised Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde not to be deterred by critics, saying those who condemn good leadership today will often turn around to celebrate it later. Obasanjo made the comment at the inauguration of the Ibadan Central Bus Terminal, a major infrastructural project located at Iwo Road. The facility, which features modern amenities including elevators, eateries, and parking spaces, was hailed by Obasanjo as a symbol of visionary governance, describing Makinde as an Omoluabi. Obasanjo said the leadership requires focus and patience, adding that enduring legacies are often misunderstood until history vindicates them. At number 6, the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority (NMDPRA) has urged Nigerians to avoid panic buying, assuring that the country has sufficient petroleum product reserves to meet national demand. In a statement signed by the Director of Public Affairs, George Eneta, the agencies said Nigeria's domestic fuel supply remains stable with active replenishment from both local refineries and imports. The authority reaffirmed that automotive gas oil (AGO), premium motor spirit (PMS), and liquefied petroleum gas (LPG) are all available in adequate quantities nationwide. It called on marketers to avoid hoarding and speculative pricing, noting that enforcement teams are monitoring compliance across depot and retail outlets. On number 7, the chairman of the African Democratic Congress (ADC) in Adamawa State, Shehu Kambile, has resigned his appointment as Special Assistant to Governor Ahmadu Fintiri. Kambile announced his resignation in a statement from Yola, describing it as a strategic move to strengthen the ADC's role as a viable opposition party in the state. He explained that his initial appointment was facilitated through the Inter-Party Advisory Council (IPAC) to promote political inclusiveness. Camille also commended former Vice President Atiku Abubakar for his continued support of democratic engagement and cross-party collaboration. At number 8, the Minister of Defense, Muhammad Badaru Abubakar, has assured that no soldier acting lawfully will face punishment over the recent confrontation between military personnel and FCT Minister Wike in Abuja. Speaking at the flag-off of the 2026 Armed Forces Remembrance Day activities at the National Defense College, Badaru reaffirmed the ministry's commitment to protecting officers performing lawful duties. He said any officer on lawful duty will be protected if he is doing his job in line with military ethics and national interest. The statement came after a coalition of retired military veterans threatened to protest if any disciplinary action was taken against the officer involved. And at number 9, Libyan authorities have deported 18 Nigerian migrants detained in various facilities across the country as part of efforts to decongest detention centers and stem irregular migration. The Department for Combating Illegal Migration, DCIM, in collaboration with Nigerian Consulate in Tripoli, coordinated the repatriation via Mitiga International Airport. According to Migrant Rescue Watch, a humanitarian monitoring group, the deportation followed judicial orders by the Libyan judicial police officials and said more repatriation are planned in partnership with Nigerian authorities to protect migrant welfare and reduce overcrowding in detention centers. And our last story. The Flag Officer Commanding FOC Special Operations Command, Rear Admiral Olusegun Soyemi, has conducted an operational assessment visit to the headquarters of Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadinkai in Maiduguri. The two-day visit, held between November 12 and 13, aimed to evaluate joint operational readiness and enhance synergy among the armed forces in counterinsurgency operations. Rear Admiral Soyemi commended troops for their dedication and called for deeper inter-service collaboration to improve flexibility, resilience, and information dominance in the fight against terrorism. He pledged the Nigerian Navy's continued support for joint operations to restore lasting peace and security in the region. And those are your top 10 stories on TV Platinum. I am Oluwatobi Enito. Do well to follow and subscribe to all our social media platforms for more news updates. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.